Hi, I'm London Kaye, and I'm so excited to make the peace sign with you out of the Peace Out theme pack. Here's what you'll need. I'm gonna be using the big hook today, really big hook, 20 millimeters, with a peace sign on the bottom. Oh my gosh, obviously we're making a peace sign. To start out, you're gonna do a slip knot, and feel free to watch our video on how to make a slip knot if you wanna break that down a little bit. And to begin, I'm gonna chain 61. This next part is a little bit, it's something that took me a while to get good at. So my technique, because we're gonna be closing this into a circle to make a big outer shell of this peace sign. So what I do is I lay the crochet with like the flatter side up, and I kind of collect it together slowly, making sure that the flat side stays up, and I run my finger over the top of it as I go, keeping that smooth side up. So by the time I get to the end, I now have that smooth side, and I can connect that end together with the other smooth side. And I do that by doing a little slip stitch or single crochet. If you want to make sure that your circle isn't twisted, kind of go all the way around again and just make sure that the smooth side stays up once you get to the end of your row. I think I'm good. If it is twisted, that's okay too, because you can kind of untwist it with this next row as we go around. But, you know, do it however you'd like. Oh, here's another way. Since we have a nice table in front of us, go ahead and lay it out and just take a look. Okay, looks good. Because we have so many fun colors, I'm actually gonna change colors now. Even though I really like this blue, I'm gonna switch it up and go to my next color. And for this row to go around, we just want, it's as if we're making a circle. So you're gonna need to increase maybe about every 10 stitches or so. And when I get to the 10th stitch, I'm gonna do one more single crochet in that same hole to increase it by 1. As I get to the end, I've really only increased a few times. If you want to count, you may have around 65 stitches, but really no need to count. As long as it's looking flat and like a outer shell of a peace sign, I think you're on the right track. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch colors again. You can even switch colors mid-row if you want to really make it look like a tie-dyed effect. That's something that I've done in the past that I really like. And it's really easy. Just cut the yarn mid-row and change to the next one. For this third row, we're gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna increase around 12 or 13 stitches in instead of 10, just because it's a little bit of a bigger circle, so we don't need to increase quite as much. So as I'm making this, just always keep in mind that you don't need to do it perfect. If you feel like you want to increase in a stitch, feel free. It's all about just doing what feels right. Change up the colors. This is like making just like a really big cowl. I actually think this looks kind of cute if we were to keep going. So it's all about using your imagination. And if it doesn't like really look like a perfect circle, that's okay too, because once you hang it up, whether you're pinning it up with push pins on your wall or hanging it up outside, when you stretch this, you can stretch it in a way that it'll look like a circle no matter what. So as long as we're just getting the foundation kind of right, you're gonna have no problem making it look like a peace sign at the end. I'm moving on to my 4th row now, so I'm switching colors, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. Just go around and increase every once in a while. I'm now gonna go on to my last row, and switch out the color here. You can just keep going. If you want to make this peace sign huge, I dare you. It's just doing the exact same thing, going around, increasing every once in a while, and that'll make the peace sign as big as you want. My favorite peace sign that I made, it is really big. I like things that are generally huge. So the peace sign that I just love the most, it had to be at least 15 feet tall, and it was rainbow just like this one, and then I added flowers on top of it, so it was like really, really groovy. And another fun peace sign that I've made, I actually laid it out at Strawberry Fields in New York City at Central Park, and I covered the John Lennon, just like classic symbol there with flowers to make that peace sign. So that one was pretty fun too. For this row, I've increased about every 15 stitches, but no need to count. You can really just do it whenever you feel like it. As I make my way to the end of this row, that is going to finish up the border of our peace sign. We'll take care of all the ends when we get to the end of the project. So for now, we're gonna move on to the lines that make up the center of the peace sign. It's a little hard to see on here because this is truly just so big. But if you fold it kind of in half, you can make sure that it's not twisted, and it looks like a circle, right? So to do the big line going through the middle, you are gonna chain 23 to start, and I picked any of these colors. Again, like mixing and matching them in any way you want is the way to go. So I've chained 23, but truly the way you should figure out your count is gonna be by laying your circle out, because we know what we're trying to do here. So by laying your circle out, you just need to make sure that your chain goes from the top to the bottom. It doesn't have to end right at the start. It can be a little bit bigger, but you don't want it falling off either edge. So somewhere in between is just right. So this looks good. I'm gonna change colors and go with whatever I happen to pick. Pink it is. And now I'm gonna work my way back with single crochet. You'll be doing 2 rows of single crochet. Feel free to change colors in the middle, at the end, or never during these next few steps. Once we get to the end, I'm gonna pick one more color, and I'm gonna single crochet back. So now we've got our center line for your peace sign, and we'll be gluing it all together. So this little end will be over there, and this little end will be over here. So it's coming together really nicely. For the 2 lines that come down from the center line, you're just gonna chain 12. Awesome! I have finished all of my pieces for the peace sign. Because we use the big hook, it's a really big peace sign. You can use a smaller hook and do the exact same thing and get a different size if you'd like to. I have a ton of ends, so as always, I'm gonna glue them, but feel free to sew them or trim them in any way you'd like. This peace sign, I think, would make a really, really awesome gift. Another really fun way would be to personalize a blanket that you've either knit or crocheted, and you can add this on top of it to make it just a little more special. Or if you don't want to take on the task of crocheting your own blanket, you could get one from a brick and mortar store or one you already have at the home, and then attach this onto it. I use hot glue, but again, you could sew it if you really want to. Now that you've glued all your ends, I'm gonna take my long piece that goes through the middle and place that down. Go ahead and slip the tails underneath that outer circle you've made. Then take your hot glue gun and just do a nice, I'm gonna put down 3 stripes of glue, but do whatever you think you'll need, and pat it, and do the same thing on the top. Let that all set, and with that, you've made yourself a super groovy peace sign. It was so fun crocheting the large peace sign with you today out of the Peace Out theme pack. And as always, thank you for crocheting outside the lines.